Good morning, students. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you can see the PowerPoint presentation also.
Yes, ma'am. Barriers to communication.
Okay, so today we are going to start with the next topic, that is barriers to communication. Here we are going to see how to describe the barriers to communication, to classify the barriers to communication, to elaborate various types of barriers with suitable examples, to identify various types of barriers to communication in daily life, to explore the possible solutions to the barriers to communication, and finally, to overcome barriers to communication in daily life. First, we will see definition of barriers to communication. A communication barrier is anything that prevents the receiver from receiving and understanding the message that sender uses to convey information, ideas, and thoughts. So, you can see over here, barriers, these are the barriers. It can be between sender and medium and channel, or it can be between medium and channel and the receiver. There are 5 types of barriers: physical barriers, mechanical barriers, language barriers, psychological barriers, and cross-cultural barriers. First, we will see physical barriers. First one is noise. When you hear this type of voice, it is actually noise. Then the second one is time. Now, here you can see that there are different time zones. This is called zero time zone. If you talk about India, it is plus 5 hours and 5.5 hours. So these are different time zones. This side it is minus, this side it is plus. So as you know, the earth revolves, and as a result there are certain parts where there is day and there are certain parts where there is night. And as a result, when you are working across the globe, then world time zones becomes a problem. There is another problem with the different work schedules of employees. You can see the different work schedules. Or you can take the example of our own lectures. As a result, it becomes very difficult to find common time to work. Next is distance. You can see the distance between New Delhi and Chennai. To overcome the problem of distance, we have various media. For example, we have post, we have telegram, we have email, we have telephone. Next, long lines of communication. Now, you can see this organizational structure. As you know, the formal communication has to go through proper channel. So if a team member over here has to communicate with a team member over here, he has to go like this. And this entire process will take a lot of time. Because he has to go through proper channel, it takes a lot of time. And the last physical barrier is environmental stress. So here you can find the various problems that are caused with these various reasons, which are various types of stress which are caused. There are certain types which are intrinsic to the job. For example, poor physical working condition, work overload, time pressure, physical damage, etc. Role in the organization, role ambiguity, role conflict, responsibility for people, conflicts through organizational boundaries, etc. Then career development, over promotion, under promotion, lack of job security, thwarted ambition. Then relationship at work, poor relation with the boss, subordinates or colleagues, difficulties in delegating responsibility, organizational structure and climate, little or no participation in decision making, restrictions on behavior, office politics, lack of effective consultation, financial difficulties, etc. So these are the sources of stress at work. Then you have individual characteristics, level of anxiety, level of neuroticism, tolerance for ambiguity, type A behavior pattern. Then you have extra organizational problems, family problems, life crisis. Then symptoms of occupational ill health. There are certain problems which are caused because of your particular type of work. For example, blood pressure, cholesterol, high heart rate, smoking, depressive mood, escapist drinking, job dissatisfaction, reduced aspiration, etc. And finally, there are diseases, coronary heart disease and mental ill health. So because of environmental stress, ultimately, you cause a lot of problem to your heart. Solutions to physical barriers. First one is noise. So what do you have to do? You have to practice self-discipline. You have to increase your concentration and also select your venue appropriately. Next, time. Both sender and receiver should make adjustments and find a common time to communicate. Third one, distance. As I said earlier, you can have email, fax, mobile, video conference, etc. Right now, what we are doing, we are having online lecture. It is a solution over distance. We are sitting at various places and still we are communicating with each other through online lecture. So this is how we are overcoming the barrier of distance. Then long lines of communication. Solution to it is streamlining procedures, written communication. You can write email, you can write letters. And the last one is environmental stress. You can reduce environmental stress by suitable arrangements. Please note down all these points. There are 5 types of barriers. First type is physical barriers. Under physical barriers, you are having 5. Noise, time, distance, long lines of communication, and environmental stress. Noted down?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I
Yes,
change
ma'am.
the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Next one, mechanical barriers. Here you are having two. Defect in the medium. For example, there is no internet. Or inaptitude on the part of user. The user does not know how to use the device. For example, you don't know how to send email. Solutions to mechanical barriers. For the first one, you require proper maintenance of the machines. And for the second one, you require training to the user. Under mechanical barriers, you have only two. First one, defect in the medium. Second one, inaptitude on the part of user. For the first one, you require proper maintenance of machines. For the second one, you require training to the user. Have you noted down the points?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I
Yes,
change
ma'am.
the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we are having language barriers. You can see over here, there are different languages. And all the languages, they form a type of tree. First one is no common language. For example, you are speaking Tamil and the other person is speaking Bengali. And both of you don't have any common language. So you will not understand each other. There was a movie, Ek Duje Ke Liye. The hero did not know Hindi, the heroine did not know Tamil, and still they fall in love. So the first language barrier is no common language. So how you will overcome no common language? By translation. But the translation can be faulty. For example, this is an imaginary letter where you will understand how the original meaning is changed in the translation. So, I'm reading out. Lalu Prasad sent his biodata to apply for a post in Microsoft Corporation, USA. A few days later, he got its reply. Lalu Prasad jumped with joy on receiving this reply. He arranged a press conference and declared, भाइयों और बहनों, आपको जानकर खुशी होगी कि हमको अमेरिका में नौकरी मिल गई है। अब हम आप सबको अपना अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर पढ़कर सुनाऊंगा। पर लेटर अंग्रेजी में है, इसलिए साथ साथ हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट भी करूंगा। Everyone was delighted. Now see the letter. Dear Mr. Lalu Prasad, you do not meet our requirements. Please do not send any further correspondence. No phone call shall be entertained. Thanks, Bill Gates. So actually, he is rejected. He has not got a job. But now see how he interprets it in the totally different, or you can say opposite light. He is translating in Hindi. प्यारे लालू प्रसाद भैया, आप तो मिलते ही नहीं हो, हमको तो जरूरत है. Now see, you do not meet. If you translate it, आप मिलते ही नहीं हो. Our requirement, how it is translated? हमको जरूरत है. Please do not send any further correspondence. अब लेटर वेटर भेजने का कोनो जरूरत नहीं. नो फोन कॉल, फोनवा का भी जरूरत नहीं है. शैल बी एंटरटेन्ड, बहुत खातिरदारी की जाएगी. थैंक्स, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. बिल गेट्स, तोहार बिलवा. So see, the original letter is the rejection letter, but in translation, it becomes a selection letter. This is an example of faulty translation. Are you getting the joke? It's a joke. समझ में आया या नहीं आया?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
हंसी
ma'am.
आई या नहीं आई? जोक
अच्छा translation
सुन के हंसी आई या नहीं आई?
हमारी है, अच्छी ट्रांसलेशन है.
Ma'am, right translation.
क्योंकि अभी जब हम लैंग्वेज की बात कर रहे हैं तो सब तुम्हारे जितने भी जोक्स वगैरह आते हैं ना, वो सबसे ज्यादा जो जोक्स आते हैं वो लैंग्वेज बैरियर के ऊपर ही होते हैं. कहीं ना कहीं वहां पे तुमको लैंग्वेज बैरियर दिखाई देगी.
मैम एक बार
ये मेरा
नेक्स्ट
साइड तो
स्लाइड एक
हंस
बार
रहा है,
फिर
तुम लोग
देखिए
के
मैम.
बारे में पता नहीं.
Ma'am, these things are so funny.
Yes, it is all funny. Next, you have use of jargon. Now, what is jargon? It is specialized vocabulary. For example, burn this CD. Now, what does it mean? Setting the CD on fire. Is this the meaning of burn the CD? No, it means copy the CD. Copy the disk. CD, compact disc. But if you don't know what do you mean by burn the CD, you will actually put it on fire. So that is use of jargon. Next is regional accent. Now see this conversation. How far is the station? What? The station, the place from where we get a train. Oh, the station. So this is the accent. For example, I will give you another example. In Bengali, A becomes O. So if you are saying ghadi, it becomes ghodi.
Ghodi. Ghodi.
And as you know, the meaning changes.
Yes.
So we are talking about regional accent. Then the next one is syntactical problem. Okay, throw mama from a train a kiss. It is a wrong sentence. What you are doing? What you are throwing? You are throwing mama from the train. These are all jokes. And you should understand the joke and you should laugh. What you are doing? You are throwing mama out of the train. Then, a nursemaid is wanted for a baby about 20 years old. Now, the person wants to say that nursemaid should be 20 years old. But from this sentence, it is the baby who is 20 years old. It is your faulty sentence structure. What is syntax? It is sentence structure. She tore up the affectionate letter which her mother had written to her in a fit of peevishness. Again, it is faulty sentence structure. She tore up the letter when she was in a fit of peevishness. But here the meaning is the other way around. The mother had written the affectionate letter in a fit of peevishness. Peevishness, bad mood. This marble monument was erected to the memory of Henry Smith, who was shot accidentally by his brother as a mark of affection. Now, what is the mark of affection? What is the mark of affection over here? All of you can see the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now see the fourth sentence. Mark of affection. Which is the mark of affection? Erection of monument or shooting accidentally?
Erection of monument.
Yes, erection of monument. But from this particular sentence, because it is a faulty sentence, it seems that he was shot accidentally as a mark of affection. प्यार से भाई को मार डाला.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is faulty sentence structure.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are all jokes. Next, you have paralanguage. Paralanguage, it consists of your tone, speed and pitch. आप जब बात करते हो तब आपका स्पीड क्या है, वॉल्यूम क्या है, आप जोर से बोल रहे हो, धीरे से बोल रहे हो, किस तरह से बोल रहे हो, दैट इज योर पैरालैंग्वेज. Watch again. Can you see the change in the meaning? It has, the words are same, but paralanguage is different, and as a result, meaning has changed. Then we come to multiplicity of meaning. For example, take the right turn. Now right has two meanings, right and wrong, right and left. Which one do you mean? Mysore is a dry city. Now, what is the meaning of the word dry? One is pertaining to the climate. It is arid. There is not much moisture. So it is a dry city. Second meaning, there is no interesting things in Mysore. So it is a dry city. Third meaning, there is ban on alcohol in Mysore. So it is called dry city. So there are three meanings. Now see this one. Examination is going on. Please do not pass. Isn't it funny? Why you appear for exam? To pass or to fail?
Ma'am, to pass.
Yes, but here it is written, examination is going on, please do not pass. Actually, the speaker wants to say, please do not disturb the examinees. Don't pass in the corridor. But the meaning comes out that please fail in the exam. Then, see this one. Husband, I am not finding my car key. Wife, it is in your genes. Husband, exploding with anger, you better don't bring my family into it. Understood? There are two genes. One is JEAANS. That is a type of cloth that you wear. And the other one is GENES, genes, of which your DNA is made of. Have you got the joke?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Then the next one is verbalism. Verbalism means you're using a lot of words, but its meaning is not clear. Take this example. All these words are explicitly given, and they go on to give other explicit examples of words whose verbal image over a given group is a single automorphism class and the identity. Now tell me what you understood from this. Have you understood anything?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, that is verbalism. The functions are specified for all possible cases, some of which are often left out when specifying a function verbally. Again, you don't understand what is the meaning.
No, ma'am.
Who sets for heresy his traps of verbal quirk and quibble, and weeds the garden of the Lord with Saturn's borrowed dibble, a spiritual manifestation by John Gleefin Witter. Again, do you understand anything over here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
That's verbalism. You keep on scratching your head. Exactly what does it mean? And you don't understand. Next, information overload. If I show you this particular slide, there is so much information over here. This is known as information overload. We have done till here. And still this much is to be done. And I'm showing you one single slide. And I'm talking about each one. It is known as information overload. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, we come to solutions to language barriers. First one, no common language. So what you will do? You will translate, you will use the interpreter, and you will also use non-verbal communication, pictures, gestures, etc. Now you know what is non-verbal communication. Then you have faulty translation. To avoid faulty translation, you have to acquire graded proficiency in both the languages. For example, you have the word kanuni ma. What does it mean? Kanuni ma? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if I use the word kanuni ma, what does it mean? It is the faulty translation. In English, it is mother-in-law, जिसको सासू माँ करके ट्रांसलेट करना चाहिए था, लेकिन ट्रांसलेटर को सासू माँ ये शब्द पता नहीं है, तो मदर इज माँ, in-law becomes kanuni. Now, if you want to understand what do you mean by kanuni ma, you have to translate it back into English. Otherwise, what do you understand? Legal mother. So what you have to do to overcome faulty translation is you have to acquire greater proficiency in both the languages. Next, use of jargon. What do you have to do to overcome use of jargon? You have to explain the terms. Burn the CD. It means copy the CD. Regional accent. Training in pronunciation. You have to polish your speech. Many people have problem with no and no, lo and lo, so and show.
Ma'am, ja and ja also.
Yes, the and jo, so and cho. Next, syntactical problem. You have to pay more attention to grammar and sentence structure. And finally, you have to do proof reading. Once you have written everything, you have to check it again whether there is any mistake. Please note down all the points. Noted?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, you have wrong paralanguage. So what do you have to do? You have to take extra effort to understand the speaker. And as a speaker, you have to polish your own speech. Multiplicity of meanings. You have to understand various meanings of the words and you have to use language in context. Verbalism. You have to use simple language and audio visual aids. Now what I'm doing, I'm using PowerPoint presentation. What is it? It is audio visual aid. And the last one, information overload. To overcome information overload, you have to break up the message in smaller units. So here you can see it is slide number 23. Instead of one slide, I'm having around 40 slides. So what I'm doing, I'm breaking up the message in smaller units. Please note down all the points. Should I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we have seen 3 types of barriers. Physical barrier, mechanical barrier, and language barrier. The next 2 we will see in the next lecture. Have you understood this much? Is there any problem?
Yes. No problem, ma'am.
No, ma'am, no problem.
If you have any queries, any questions, you can ask now. Any problem? Any query?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then we are stopping. I'm stopping this particular PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, ma'am.